Okay, we're starting. Hello viewers, welcome to Side Mirror SSB. My name is Atim Sijin and this is Sip and Chat program, and today with me is Sarah Nyibak. Sarah Nyibak is one of the co-authors of a book that is titled Unlocking the Human Potential, and also she's a host of a talk show that is called Hard Talk, and also she's a technical communication skills person who support in terms of building your communication skills and confidence. Sarah Nyibak is one of the people that is doing a lot outside there, and today with her we're going to discuss about her journey. We're going to discuss about her as one of the female motivational speakers, I can say, and someone who is also willing to support in terms of building capacities of the youth. So Sarah Nyibak, you're welcome to Sip and Chat.
Thank you. I'm happy to sit with you.
Thank you.
The tea today. And,
all right.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so humbled and honored to be sipping tea with you this afternoon. I don't take it lightly.
Thanks a lot.
It's important.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Nyibak, as I said in my introduction, you are doing a lot of good things to support and to build the capacity of the youth. Who is Sarah Nyibak briefly? Just like tell us about who is Sarah Nyibak in just a few minutes.
Okay. My name is Sarah Nyibak. I'm a certified life coach in transformational coaching. And of course, I mentioned transformational coaching. For those who know me, I've really come a long way. And it's important that people will see me, because for those who know me, they know me as someone who is very shy, someone who can't even speak, I can't even do anything. But I transformed myself and I became this woman today who is confident, who is able to stand in front of people through coaching and through self-improvement. And this is what I do. I hold people's hands and they become the better version that they would like to be.
Wow.
So
that is interesting. So tell me about your journey to be who you are today, because I know it's not easy.
Yeah,
But
it's not
that
easy. And you're going to be shocked. Most of my family members, or for those who know me, I'm an introvert. That's one thing that I know.
Yeah.
I happen to have married a pastor who preaches in church.
Tell us his name also.
My name is Sarah, like I mentioned, but I'm married to Bishop Paul Deng of Rebuilding Ministries International. And he started these ministries in 1999.
Wow.
And we got married in 2010. I got married to him knowing that yes, he's a pastor, that's his profession, and I was okay with what he's doing. I've always told him, you know what, that is your profession, that's you.
Yes.
You're the one who is called, I'm not called. So for a long time, I just saw myself as someone who is in the background or who is going to be in the background. I'm not going to feature in any work that he's doing in the church. So my work, I saw myself as this decorative person, like a wife who is supposed to
ceremonial,
just wear the crown, and sit beside him, follow him around with your handbag, looking nice. That's the only thing.
But it wasn't the case.
That's what I had envisioned in my head. But I was in for a rude shock.
Okay, well, how was the shock?
The shock was when now I joined him here in Juba. And of course, every Sunday we have to go to church with him. I said, okay, no problem. I go to church, I will sit with him. But then there was a problem when the congregation were like, we want to hear Mama Sarah.
Yeah,
we want her to say something. We want her to come in front, that pressure. And simply because I'm not used to standing in the public, I'm not used to talking to people. Though I've studied actually communication, electronic media. I know these things.
Yes, but as an introvert.
I'm not able to express myself. So I begin to find pressure. People want to hear from me as their pastor's wife. So it made me actually to want to avoid going into the public scene. Every Sunday was a bad day for me. I don't want to come to church. So every morning, my husband, it's peaceful every week until now Saturday morning. So you create issues so that on Sunday you don't go to church.
Right.
But it happened. I went to church, and something really interesting. When we go to church, I will pray. For 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes even. I would pray for my husband, pray for myself, pray for my dad, my mom, my sisters, and in 5 minutes I'm done. But then I kept watching people. They have words to say, they are not repeating themselves. They kept going on and on and on.
And you wonder how they do it.
And I wonder how they are doing this thing. So one time in 2013 is when I began the journey of self-transformation.
Okay.
I exposed myself first to books. I started reading books of David Oyedepo. I started reading books of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I started reading financial books and all these things. And I began even to read spiritual books. So while I was reading these things, I didn't know these things I was absorbing.
Yeah. They're transforming you in a different
They
way.
were transforming me in a quiet, different way. So one time I was given the mic, and things, I started speaking things. I started speaking, and I'm like, gosh, who was that?
Okay, that's
and
interesting.
I realized it's so important that you transform yourself as a person. Many times, this is what the Bible says, that every imagination, everything that exalts itself against the word of God, or everything is in our minds.
Yes.
So I started working on my mind. How do I want to see myself? How do I want people to see me? So I started.
So you envision yourself.
Yes, I envisioned myself. And something funny, I manifested what I wanted. Will you believe in 2004, I didn't even know what life coaching was all about. There's a friend of mine, she's on Facebook, she's called Mary Macau.
You can be sipping as a
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's called Mary
Macau. I used to tell her, you know what? I want to be helping people. I want to be coaching people. I didn't even know what was the language back then. But I would say I want to have an office whereby people come, I guide them, and when they find me in my office, they will be finding me facing the wall and they're talking to the seat and something like that.
Yes.
I realized all these things I was informed to then, I was just talking about. I didn't even know what all that, I didn't have a name for it.
Yes.
Until 2016 when I joined a coaching academy.
Okay. What is the name of that coaching academy?
It's called Destiny Life Coaching Academy.
Destiny Life Coaching Academy.
Yes, it's in Nairobi. So I took that course for a year, and I sat under mentors who mentored me. And of course, after some time, I felt confident to step out and be able to coach other people.
Wow.
And that's why I came up with the Sarah Nyibak Transforming Lives, if you've seen in my logo, the one that I shared with you. And then slowly, after some time, I started the Hard Talk Public Speaking, simply because I was someone who was never able to stand in front of people, take a mic and address people publicly. And I know many people are like me.
Yeah.
For me, I was so fortunate enough that I had the church as my platform whereby I talk until I gain my confidence.
Yes.
And I still felt like I needed to look for people who are like me, who want to transform themselves, who want to come out of their cocoon, whereby they are afraid and they want to be in the background, and yet they have so much to offer. So we've been training people through Hard Talk. So far, I've trained 66 young people.
Wow, very interesting.
Very interesting. And we keep doing this, and we come together, those who are shy like me, and we train one another. And I put them through a 1-week course, whereby at the end of the week, you look for that one person whom you love so much, or that one person whom you are afraid to speak in front of them, and you bring them to listen to you. That way you break that fear of public speaking.
So there are so many people that are going to watch this, and most of us, outside there, we fear to come out, to express ourselves. What would be your first advice to them? Someone who is going through the same thing. Of course, maybe they're not fortunate to have the platforms that you had.
Yes.
What's your advice?
My advice is don't be afraid. Keep doing what you're doing even in secret when no one is seeing you. Because what you do in secret, of course, it has a way of coming out in the public. No one is seeing you, but you're dedicating yourself to transforming yourself. Like when I started reading books in 2013, there's a time I conditioned myself to be reading a book every week. And in that year, I read 52 books.
Wow.
So keep doing. No one knew that I was doing all these things. It's just like pregnancy. When it's taking root, nobody knows that it's taking shape. Even the mother themselves that they don't know unless they go for test that this is what is happening. So they will be consciously aware that I have this thing in me. But in the first place, you don't know about it. Nobody is even seeing the transformation or the changes that you're going through until that time when it will physically show. So keep doing what you're doing at the background until it will keep showing.
Come out, So for my case, I used to have the same issue, but also I used to talk to the mirror. Was there a time you lock yourself in and talk to your mirror just to make sure you're perfect, you're doing well?
Exactly. I used to talk to the mirror. And then from the mirror, I graduated. I begin to talk to cameras. I begin to record myself on the phone. But then I realized when I am evaluating myself, I'm biased. So Hard Talk was actually to get outside perspective.
Yes.
And when you get outside perspective, it builds your confidence. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So talking about this book, Unlocking the Human Potential.
Yes.
You co-authored the book.
Yes.
When was the book authored?
That book was authored in 2020.
2020.
Yes, and my chapter there, I talk on belief. like you have to really believe in yourself. Many times we do not believe that we are capable of achieving things, or we are capable of becoming greater. Yes.
What are the obstacles to believing yourself? Because as myself, I have the same issue. I always believe what I do. No matter how people say, okay, it will fail, it's not going to work, but I believe in myself.
Yes.
That confidence, you build it over time. But okay, talking of belief, what are the obstacles that will make you not to believe in yourself?
The obstacles that will not make you to believe in yourself is the environment around you. Who are the people who you are keeping around? Who are your company? And also the environment that we grow up. The way sometimes, I was listening to this Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, yeah.
And when he told his teacher that, I want to be on television, I want to make people laugh. And the teacher told him, has anyone from your family been on TV? So of course, if no one from your family has ever reached there, why will you? How different are you from your family?
And those are dream killers.
Those are dream killers. So you may have dream killers who are within even your family. It can be even your father, it can be even your mother.
Yeah,
your
someone
father can
close
tell,
to you.
yeah, that I never made it to you. Who do you think you are that you are coming to make it to this far? So don't listen to these people. Distance yourself. Be able to believe in yourself that you are able to do it. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Okay, Sarah, thank you so much. I think just to take us a little bit behind, as a South Sudanese female who has gone through life, you've been in East Africa,
Yeah.
and you are a married woman to a pastor.
Yes.
With a lot of responsibilities, because in church I know how it is. I also pray in the same church.
A lot.
So how do you balance between the church, as a mother of the church, your personal life and your career? How do you balance these three things? And also as a wife at home, of course, this is too much.
Yeah.
How do you balance it?
As a coach, there's something called wheel of life. And these are the things I usually take people through. And the wheel of life, you come up with areas that you function. It could be family, spiritual, education, career-wise, business-wise, and all these things. And you develop goals around how you want to function in every area. Like for me, the best thing, I'm a disciplined person. So discipline is key, commitment is key.
Okay.
So if I know, like, I work every time. From Monday to Friday, I'm working. Actually, from Monday to... But I work from morning till 5.
Yes.
By 5 a.m., I'll come to my house. Of course, I have wife duties. I have to cook. I have to clean my house. I have to feed myself spiritually. I need leisure time and all these things. These are things you plan. So you intentionally plan how you want to live out your life.
Yes.
You don't have to go through life aimlessly without not knowing what you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your advice to some girls outside there who are juggling between their careers, their dreams, and their families? Because I know, just like you, there's some women outside there who are also pursuing their careers. And of course, sometimes they find it hard to balance between their careers, their families, and also their dreams.
Yeah.
So what is your advice to such kind of women outside there? Sometimes it is tricky.
My advice is that relax, sit down, think about what you want. Because most of the time, we are too busy. But too busy doing what? I call those people busybodies.
Busybodies, okay.
You find someone is busy, but they have no results to show what are they busy for. So sometimes there are things like laundry. You could be busy doing laundry, you want to cook, you want to do many things at the same time. Spread out yourself. Say every Wednesday I want to be doing laundry. On this day I want to be doing this.
Excuse me. Hello. Excuse me.
So spread yourself out. Know which day do you want to do that particular thing. When Wednesday come, I do laundry on Wednesday. Okay. Saturday, I clean my house. Sunday, I go to the salon.
So it's about discipline?
It's about discipline and plan.
Okay.
It's about discipline and plan. Planning.
What about those who want to give up? Because I know, Sarah, there are some introverts who cannot talk, but they're able to express themselves. But there are some people who have difficulties in expressing themselves. Not because they're introvert, but maybe language problem. What's your advice?
Training. You come to places like Heart Shop, whereby you get trained. And also, like, what is your goal in life? Train yourself. Self-education. I came to realize self-education is really important.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to sit in class where there is a chalkboard, where there is a teacher, but you can become your own teacher. Like nowadays, being an introvert, there are people like you, Atim. Whenever I sit with you, I will laugh at you, we'll talk. Someone will think I'm a talkative person, but it depends on my environment.
You're engaging with.
Yes, with the person whom I'm engaging with. So being an introvert also, it doesn't prevent you from expressing what you need or what you want.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and let's talk about the Hard Talk.
Yes.
You know, when the first time I knew about Hard Talk, I was really very impressed.
Yes.
Because this is a platform that can give people a chance to express themselves and learn new skills on how, you know, on public speaking.
Yeah.
If someone is outside there and they want to join the Hard Talk class, where and when and how?
Usually it's a club. We have a Facebook page that is called Mind Renewal Academy.
Mind Renewal Academy.
Yes, where we post every Hard Talk activities. And usually whenever we're having a class, we have it every month. We didn't have it this new year because everyone was traveling, everyone was busy with Christmas and everyone, so we didn't do any class this month. But we'll have our class this coming February. So once we do, we will announce on social media. But of course, I'll give you my contacts. If anybody wants to attend, or if you want personal coaching, you want me to help you plan yourself, develop your goals, develop actionable steps that you want to take towards your goals, I work with you until you achieve that goal that you want to have.
Give them the contact.
My contact on Facebook, of course, my Facebook name is Nyananai, for those who know me. That's just, but I'm soon going to change that name because the person who used to call me Nyananai was my father, and he's late now. So I'm thinking.
So rest in peace.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of switching my real name back, of which many people know my name.
Yeah.
And my Facebook page is Mind Renewal Academy, because like I mentioned earlier, Atim, it's all about the mind.
Yes.
If you train your mind positively, you'll have positive outcomes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So if you need to get some coaching,
Yes.
you can reach her out on the page.
Yes.
And also
of course, at the YouTube, at the end, you'll have my number. You'll have everything that you need.
Sarah, as South Sudanese female, South Sudanese girls are going through a lot.
Yes.
And regardless of our cultures, of course, we know there are some obstacles.
Yeah.
What is your advice to a young lady outside there who is looking at how to pursue her dreams?
Yeah.
But of course, with our cultural beliefs, you know, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
How can they, make sure at least, despite the fact that there are cultural issues, they're able to achieve their dreams? What can they do?
You know, there's something I was thinking about the other day. It's called persistence. And it is a character that is with all of us as human beings. Every human, even animals.
Yes.
If you have a target, you go after it without even rest until you achieve that one thing. And I was thinking about men in particular. If they are wooing a lady, they will put up all kinds of pretense.
Pretense. Okay.
Just to get that lady, just to get the attention of that lady. They will even act like they come to church. You know, when a man is courting that lady, and I've seen this in the church, when the lady goes to church, you'll see this man comes to church. Yeah, he shows up in church because he has an interest on this lady. Yeah. So I want to advise that little girl, show up for your dreams, because nobody is going to show up for your dreams. Show up for your dreams. Pursue them as if you are wooing someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, of course, that's a very good advice to young girls outside there.
Yeah.
In a situation where girls are affected by the cultures, like there are some girls who will be married off at young age because simply it's not their choice, but the parents said so.
Yeah.
How could we avoid such things? Because these are cultural barriers, of course. We believe in them so much. But of course, girl child education is important. Where you are now, your experience of, because you went through education until where you are. So what made you reach this far? I know your father might have contributed.
Yes, my father, of course, contributed. My father contributed to this story, and even my mom. In our family, not going to school is not an option.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Whether you like it or not,
must go to school.
You must go to school. And every other thing is secondary. Every other thing is secondary. So sometimes you find some people who are not fortunate enough to have gotten the skills that I have or the ability to even go to school, even within our context here. Yeah. So sometimes, these days there are laws, I believe, here in South Sudan. If you are a young girl and you're really desiring to go to school and your parents are not able to afford, there are gender clusters that are available nowadays. There are ministries of genders, there is even the police. There's a lot of support that is being offered.
Yes.
Currently in South Sudan, there's a lot of efforts that are being made towards such efforts. And I think there's a lot of improvement. I'm not a negative person, Achim, but I think there is a lot of improvement right now, currently in our country. Girls are adapting to go to school. Parents want their kids to go to school. So I don't think these cultural issues are going to stay for long because we are changing the norms. The norms are changing.
Okay.
So if you find someone who doesn't want to go to school nowadays, they have made a decision not
It's
to.
their own personal choice.
It's their own personal choice, or they misbehave somewhere. Even nowadays, you find girls who by mistake they got pregnant, they go give birth to their kids, and they come back to school. During our examinations, like when they're doing the national exam, you find some of them are even doing exams 3 days after giving birth, or they're expecting at that time. It doesn't prevent you from going to school. So it's your own personal choice nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about girls who do not want to go to school, who have chosen not to go to school and chose other lives? Because in Juba here, and not only, even in other states, you know, there are people, even not only girls and not even boys, who have chosen a different life. And we have drugs and other things that are taking youth out. What's your advice to that kind of youth? Because we all believe education is success. It's life.
Education is success. There's one thing I love. I've seen you doing that. There's a lot of youth forums nowadays. There's a lot of engagement that is going on. So if you're a youth, connect yourself to any youth group whereby you feel like you're going to be benefiting positively in such groups. I've seen the Defy Hate groups there. The other day I saw up a joke at, Bamboo doing something to do. So there are a lot of youth activities that are going on. So don't be left out. Be part of any positive change that is happening in the country. And also one thing that I want to, taking you back to our discussion regarding the education, there's something I saw. Many people believe that if you study outside, then you're going to be successful. I want to say that's a lie.
Okay, that's a lie.
That's a lie. I know people who've studied in Yale. They've gone to, I know, in fact, was it in 2019? We were doing a program for UNICEF for menstrual hygiene. And I happened to be in Rumbek, and I found a lovely lady. She is in Rumbek. She went to school in Rumbek Primary School. She went to secondary in Rumbek, up to secondary level. That's the fact. But the kind of confidence she has, the English she speaks, you will think she's gone to East Africa or anywhere else. So I asked her, where did you study? I was so shocked that she studied in Rumbek. And she said the farthest she's gone is Sherkat.
So she has been within.
She has been within.
But she's confident and
she's confident.
Academically.
Academically, she's well built. She knows what she's doing. I have a friend. She's called Sony. Right now, she's currently working with IOM. She studied all her life in Yale. She went to Jamajuba, and yet she's a successful person working even with the UN. So sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go travel out to study. That's when you'll have gotten a prestigious education and that you're going to be successful. Even within our borders here, if you put your mind to it, it's possible to be successful.
Very possible.
Yes.
So don't give up because simply you have not gone outside. That is not the case. So Sarah, you co-authored the book, Unlocking the Human Potential. Do you have any plans of writing a book?
Yes. In fact, this was my first time that I connected myself to a group of coaches to write a book. And currently, I'm writing my own personal book. I'm not going to say the title because it's a surprise.
All right.
Because of being busy, so I'm still in the editing stage.
Okay.
But it's a spiritual book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it influenced by your husband's religious background?
It's not about my husband's religious background. It's about my own personal connection with God and conviction. Yeah. By the way, right now my religious or my spiritual pursuit is not attached to my husband. It's a personal call that I have. Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah, when you came in, and I the first thing I noticed was your dressing.
Yes.
Your beads.
Yes.
And we are exposed.
Yeah.
Like you grew up in Kenya. I also grew up in Kenya. Yeah. There's how we want to melt into the society outside there. Yeah. But you have maintained this look. What do you say about that? There's some girls who do not want to look like how we look. And this is our cultural diversity.
It's about accepting yourself. It's all about, because if you look at most of our young girls here in this country, most of them are bleached at a young age. You know, me when I was growing up, even to, like, I think plaiting my hair was a certain style done by my mom. Dressing was, you know, it's all about confidence, being confident in your own personal skill. And, you know, like you say, we want to appreciate our own personal diversity. Yeah. We want, you know, I am someone who believes like identity is important. Accepting yourself is important. Yeah. Whether you want to dress in whichever way, so long as you feel confident in it and you're looking decent, I don't think there's a problem with that.
Do you have any cultural conflict? Because you grew up in East Africa. You know me, when I grew up in East Africa, I was not exposed to much of our cultures. But of course, I had some elders in my community whom I listened to, and I got to learn some things.
Yes.
When you grew up in Kenya, did you feel like you have some cultural obstacles because you are not in the context that will give you the cultural belief that you have?
I didn't have cultural conflict, simply because I grew up in a very knitted family. For those who know our family, we are very close. We are very mentored. My mom is the toughest one. My dad is not even tough.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So rest in peace.
Yes, but when we were growing up, there was something that my mom kept doing for us. Every evening, and for a long time, our dad was not with us, but it was my mom who was always with us. So most of the things, or most of the stories, everything we used to get from her. There's something that she used to do when back then we were in Kenya. We will go to school. We will be told, when you are in school, you speak your Kiswahili.
When you come back here.
But when you're coming back within this house, Tongjiang is the language.
Yes.
And that's why I still speak Tongjiang until now.
Wow.
And she would always say, the children of Israel, they stayed in Egypt for 400 years. They never forgot their language. They never forgot their culture. So who are you to forget your culture and your language?
I like that.
So these are the things. And you know, our South Sudanese, and you know, this is something that if you meet many Kenyans, by the way, they think South Sudanese love themselves so much. But when we come back home here, it's different. People are fighting themselves. But there's something I love when people are in the diaspora, because you are just the few of you. You always come together. You practice what your culture is. You try to maintain every value that you have of your culture.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any conflict.
Okay. And I've seen some South Sudanese who went to East Africa, even for some few months, and they start, picking the accent, Kiswahili thing,
Yes.
and they start pretending like they don't know Dinka. I had one of my cousins who was taken from the village to Kenya,
Yeah.
and then now worst of all, she was taken to US for some months.
Yeah.
When she came back, she couldn't speak Dinka. She doesn't know, it's hard for me and all that, and she's an elder.
No.
So what's your advice? Like if you look at Ethiopians, whether they go to Europe,
Yeah.
wherever they go,
We'll
their
still
colors
eat
will remain
Anjera.
there, their Anjera will remain there, their music will remain there.
Yeah.
So what's your advice to, it's good to be exposed, but still,
Yeah, it's good to be exposed. So, but sometimes it's important to go back to the root.
Yes.
Our roots are really important, and I don't blame anybody. Sometimes you find even a mother doesn't know Tongjiang, and they've grown up in an environment whereby they don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But try to always go back and try to reconnect with where you are coming from, because our source is always important. It's our lifeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sarah, maybe in your life as a life coach and also as a female person who is doing a lot of good things, has it happened one time that a lady or a young girl comes to you asking for help or advice or guidance? Does that thing happen to you often?
Yes.
How do you
It happens. It happens to me many times, and I'm mentoring a lot of people. I'm affiliated with a lot of people, and this is what I said at him earlier. The narratives are changing.
Yeah.
And the way we are approaching things right now in South Sudan is in an amazing way, and I'm always available to support anything. There's this current group I'm working with. They are called Girl Power Mentorship. I'm supporting them. She's a lady called Eva. She's mentoring small girls from the age of 12 to 18 years. So even we are going to have our first Heart Talk with girls from 12 years to 18 years.
When would that
Small
be?
girls. It will be on the 12th of February.
Okay, let's mark that calendar.
Yes, in Green Rockon. And of course, even at workplace, even in the church, I have a lot of people who are looking up to me. And that's why sometimes if I want to play stupid,
you have to look back and
I always remember there are people depending on me.
Yeah. So you have
that
to,
it's not about me. It's about someone else who is watching me.
Is that not a burden? Is it not too much of a burden?
It's not a burden. I love that. It's my passion, and I feel good because most of the time maybe we didn't get this kind of things to mentor us, but it's really important that you walk someone through their destiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah, in our cultures as South Sudanese, it's very hard to talk about sex.
Okay.
Sex education, let me say.
Yes.
And nowadays, girls grew up, and this bondage between girls and their mothers is not there. There are taboos that a mother cannot talk to her daughter about sex.
Yeah.
How do you manage? Because nowadays you have seen that so many girls would want to try things by themselves because they're not taught. And in other cultures, you find that there are women who sit down at a certain age. Girls are taught how to take care of themselves and all that.
Yeah.
Do you face such kind of situation where a girl is less informed on even herself?
There's so many misinformation. And this is why I said you cannot outsource parenting.
Yeah.
There's something. I'll give you this example of my nephew. There's a period I was with him. If his teacher was called Teacher Tony, if his teacher tells him something, even if it's wrong, and I can't tell him otherwise, he will not believe me. He will believe his own teacher because he knows the teacher. All of us know the teacher knows. The teacher cannot lie. He knows everything, you know. But there are some things that have to come from you as a parent because you are an inside person. You're the person who has authority over this child. Yeah. Although a lot of awareness is being done, a lot of creation is being done, but it has to be enforced by someone. It can be your mom. Like for me, I remember when my mom tells me something, I will not do it. Yes. Even if she's not there, she told me don't do this thing.
You will not do it.
And I will not do it. Even if she's away, I will not do it because there's that fear.
Yeah.
So as parents, we have to really come close to our children, parent them, tell them the do's and the don'ts. Yes. And I'm so sad, although I'm working in this field, to know that our kids are engaging in sexual activities at a very young age, and the only solution that is being offered nowadays is family planning. What will be a 12-year-old, a teenager, or someone do with family planning, and yet it's not your obligation? You're not grown. You're not. So you should abstain. Yeah. Abstain. This is one thing I always advise young people.
So me personally, I believe that sex education is lacking in South Sudan.
Yes.
You know, when I was in Kenya, there was some flip chart that were given. They call it there was a flip chart.
Reproductive system.
Where you read through it and you see a lot of tips.
Yes.
And sometimes there are classes whereby sessions that people sit down and listen. So it was very effective because it tells a child what to do and what not to do. So as a whole in South Sudan, I think there's lack of sex education.
Yeah.
And what do you think HATOC can do to improve that? Because of course you're engaging with a lot of girls, and they will listen to you because they look at you as their mentor.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a way HATOC can also introduce some sex education to just let girls know about themselves and also prevent some things from happening?
At this point, HATOC is about self-development. It's a class of self-development whereby you want to gain confidence, whereby you want to impart information. Yeah. If a speaker comes and decide they want to talk on sex education and why you will discuss it. If someone comes to my class, they want to talk about how they love politics, they will talk about it. If a speaker comes, they want to change about our cultural beliefs, they will talk about it. So this is a forum whereby you even impart information. There's some information that I've gotten out of that class that I never knew. Yeah. So it's about educating ourselves. So, but I will not, that one I think I'll have to be licensed by Ministry of Education.
Yeah, but the conversation can go on.
Yeah, the conversation can go on.
Yeah.
The conversation can go on. That's for sure. Yeah. But for us to do this, I think it has to be adopted through our educational system.
Education system.
Yes, and still also because we want to maintain these kids in school. Yes. So we have to give them the red lights ahead of time so that they know when you touch this wire, it will burn you.
Yes.
So it's equally important to be talked about.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah. The last question.
Yes.
What could be your advice to both men and women outside there, as a life coach, as a HATOC host? What can be your advice to people outside there who are struggling in different ways? Yeah. In terms of career guidance, in terms of self-realization, which is a big issue in this country. Yeah. People, some people are very educated, but they don't know what they want yet. They don't know what is inside them.
Yeah. And that's why we have this book, Unlocking the Human Potential. Sometimes we have so much untapped potential that is within us, but we don't know how to go about it simply because of fear. Fear is the thing that arrests us from coming or from reaching our destinies. So my advice is expose yourself to your deepest fear. Okay. And allow that thing to happen and let it happen.
Yeah. Let it be.
Let it be.
Yeah, expose yourself to it and then you see how it comes out.
Yeah. We discover things. Like I have a friend of mine, we laugh about this story every time. Every time she has a new business, So at first we'll be thinking that she's confused, but she's not confused. It's through self-discovery.
Yeah, she has so many potentials in her. So
until when she did one business that has remained and it's doing extremely well. So do your own trial and errors until you make it to that particular thing.
And also we say that, you try to fail
Yes.
and fail to try.
Yes, fail to. Yeah. But if you say I will not do it,
Because I'm going
how
to
will
fail.
you know that you're good in it? How will you know that you're going even to?
And also, if you fail this experience, you learn from it.
You learn from it.
Yeah, so
yes.
that is good.
Yeah.
So Sarah, thank you for coming, and
Yes.
this is Sip and Chat.
Yes.
Dear viewers, you have heard from Sarah,
Yes.
the co-author of Unlocking the Human Potential, the host of Hard Talk, and as you've heard from her, follow the page, and also next month on 12th,
Yes.
there's a Hard Talk session. So if you are free, come and join, and you will not regret the
This
experience.
is for young girls. 12
For young
years,
girls,
yes.
okay, if you're a girl 12 years below or above,
12 years to 18.
12 to 18 years old,
Yes.
and you want to learn, you want to unlock your potential,
Yeah.
please join the Hard Talk
Yeah.
and do that. Thank you, Sarah, for coming, and thank you for sipping and chatting with Attention.
It's lovely. Let's toast for this. This tea is very nice.
Thank you.
It's very engaging. Thank you so much. Yes.
See you next time, and we'll have these conversations.
Yes.
And we'll be following the work of Hard Talk
Yes.
to see how far it is going. And maybe next time we'll also bring on board some students from the Hard Talk class
sure.
to talk about the experience. And thank you for unlocking the potentials. You know, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And I know some of the youth have a lot of potential in them, but they could not express it out. So we thank you so much. Keep it locked and subscribe to Side Mirror SSD at Imsagen, and thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.